There's two bears.
That was we almost got it on time there.
We tried. The important part is beer is now here.
Beer is here, and beer is good. You know, I feel like this moody setting's pretty nice because it's the first time there's Bears After Dark.
It is our first Bears After. You probably don't realize this, but normally we're recording this midday. We're day drinking bears. The den is typically busy with frolicking at like 1 p.m.
Yeah,
but this is like real human drinking hours. We're approaching midnight here in Maple Land.
in the good old Freedomville, Texas, it's 10:30. This is appropriate drinking time.
Yeah, this is like society at large isn't mad at us for drinking right now. All right. So, do you want to tell them the special occurrence, or should I?
I think I'll let you take this.
All right. So this will be our first 2B2B where we have a special guest star. It's 2B3B. That's right. We're having a third beer tonight because I have a weak-ass little beer. And when you have one that's too weak, you have to follow it up with something extra. Something a little stronger.
Like
Bless
that.
you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it's 1,000% true. So I'm breaking my 2 12-ounce cans equals a 16-ounce can because I got a very strong 12-ounce can. And so now I'm deciding I'm going to go one and to partake in a third.
Everyone knows 12 plus 12 equals 16. It's just good math. There's nothing wrong with it.
It's beautiful math, really. It's the greatest math the world's ever seen, or so I've been told. So I think let's just jump right into it because it's late. We can get moody. Don't want that to happen. So we're gonna go into this. I think this time. I think you led it last time, so I'll lead it this time.
Please do.
This one right here, I'm very excited of because it's a limited release. This is from a brewery that I've had before, a few of them, and they've been kind of mid. They've been good. The ones I've had weren't amazing, but they are solid. And this one, and I've never had this type of beer from them. This is from, I believe, Windsor. Ooh, brewed by Boston, Massachusetts, and Windsor, Vermont. Interesting. Huh.
Not terribly.
Okay, so we got a lot. We got a lot of here. A lot here. So this right here is the brewery Clown Shoes. Right?
Phenomenal.
This is called. I got this specifically for my brother Bear. This is called Snow on the Maple Tree.
Oh, look at that.
So Snow on the Maple Tree is an imperial stout aged in maple bourbon barrels. It's rich and malty, and it's 11%.
Mm-hmm.
It's brewed again by Clown Shoes Beer, Boston, Massachusetts, and Windsor, Vermont. They have a lot of text on here as well. I was kind of getting sidetracked. It's a part of the Barrel Guild, employee-owned beer without pretension. And on the bottom of this right here, it says Puerto Rico, do not litter. And then it says, inspiration guides us here at Clown Shoes. When I tried this imperial stout, a quiet, serene feeling spread through me. A vision of a Japanese maple tree. Weathering a snowstorm presented itself. Looking closer, I saw frolicking Manchurian cranes in clown shoes. Weird, yes, but nice. Aged in bourbon barrels that had premium maple syrup aged in them as well. This beer is a beautiful compliment for a winter's night.
That sounds lovely.
Assure you that these Manchurian cranes do have clown shoes on.
Are we talking like Ronald McDonald, like oversized clown shoes?
You know, like the hobo clown boot clown shoes where they're like oversized, but they have like their high tops? Like that.
Yes. Gotcha. Okay. So It is with deep regret that I inform you that my first one tonight is. You can't even really call it a beer. It is one, but it's a 4.5%. So, thus the reason I have to do a third. But when you see the can, I think you're going to immediately understand why. This is from Nickelbrook Brewing Company, which is
Never
from
made it as a
here
wise
in
man.
Ontario. Not Nickelback. Settle
Oh,
down.
okay, sorry.
This is Raspberry Jam Stand. This is
Oh,
a
now
4.5% again with a lovely bear wearing a nice fedora.
that's
So how could
basic.
you not?
That's us cosplaying Cat Williams.
It absolutely is. If it only had the giant fucking chain with the telling all the time and secrets of society at large, then yes, we'd be there. But this is let's see what's going on with this one. This is a Berliner Weiss with vanilla and hibiscus.
Interesting.
It is fresh, jammy, and has a cherry blaster pour color. And I can say,
Oh
yeah,
wow,
that's a cherry blaster pour color. Sure.
that is really nice.
It it has a nice flavor, but it is very much like anything under like 6.5 is just it's hard because you're like, why am I wasting all this liquid? But sometimes you want to give something a try.
Like man, sometimes like especially like doing yard work, being out in the sun, or just like drinking all day. Like having a good week like porch pounder is amazing. You just drink it all day.
Yeah,
Don't have to worry
no,
about nothing.
that's very true. When you're hot, yard work is a perfect example.
Like
But
Mantucky from I believe it's Montana. It's like a 4.5% or something tiny, something small, but like they're super bright. They're super like it's just refreshing. You can kill a bunch of
very
them and
nice,
it's not bad at all.
very nice indeed.
This is a really actually a very very weird one. Like it's bold. I'm not really getting much maple. Honestly, it's just like imperial stouty. Like, do
Are
you
you,
know that one Rasputin?
like, is it a beer Rasputin or do I know Rasputin?
Not Rasputin the G, the beer Rasputin, the
I do
imperial
not know.
stout.
I do not know.
So Rasputin, it says imperial stout, and it just has a picture of Rasputin, like the whole famous picture of him. It's
Mhm.
an imperial stout. It was the first stout I ever tried. It's not bad. Like it's
Hmm.
a good mid stout. This one, it's very like that. It's kind of mid. Like what's it's not full bodied. That's kind of the weird thing because it has a heavy start and a heavy finish, but the middle is like non-existent. So it's very weird
Weird.
for
Yeah, that's
like
odd.
an 11%. You know what I
That
mean?
would
Like
be
it's
confusing. Yeah.
yeah. So like I haven't like placed this one yet, but it's interesting. It's not bad by any means, but it's weird.
This is going to be I feel confident saying the ceiling on this one is a B minus. It's probably
Mm.
going to be somewhere in the C neighborhood. It's not bad. I love the can enough that I'm still happy I bought it, but like it's just and this is something where like if you like a weaker drink, like you said, like if your thing is just having like something that you can drink 6 of, this would probably be great. But that's just not my game.
That's actually fair. I'm kind of in the same territory with this one. The ceiling for this one's like a C plus, B minus.
Hmm.
The ceiling. Um,
Yeah.
but I do absolutely love the art. So like, I mean, kind of, it's hard to beat cranes beneath Japanese maple tree in the snow.
I think just in the spirit of being positive participants in the world at large, when we have to give something a like a less than a B ranking, we should probably give the can its own ranking. Just to be like, hey, you did something right.
I mean, this can's an A, easy. I love this can. I had to like double back because these were kind of expensive. Not gonna lie. Um, but like it was totally worth it just for the can and just for like everything about it. So I was like, this is fucking. I am not sad I got it.
Hey, I couldn't help but notice. That looks like a new hat, sir.
It is a new hat.
I like it. That's snazzy. There's no need to flick the brim like that.
You know, I'm assuming you know what this is. Do you
It's
know?
it's it's a bit blurry. It looks Cowboys colors, but I can't really make out the logo on it. What's happening there? Is he holding a Pink Panther?
So he's on a horse. That's Cowboy Joe. This
Oh,
is like
gotcha.
retro Cowboys merch from like between like the 60s and 70s, probably.
Okay, so this is the same art where like the Bengals logo is like it looks like Tony the Tiger coked out of his mind, like
Basically.
running. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very similar.
Okay.
It's this one right here. Because I wanted a Cowboys hat, but like, my soul's been hurting with them a lot. And like,
Yeah,
so I was
it's
like, you
fair.
know what? I don't want, and also too, I don't want to be wearing a hat and then I'm going to have to like fight for my life and defend myself from like all the Cowboy slander. So like, I was like, all right, people that know and people that like the team are gonna know this retro logo,
Hmm.
and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're a real one." But the people that are like disengaged, that are just like passive fans or anything, they're not gonna recognize it.
You're
So
absolutely right. Yeah.
so I thought,
Sometimes like subtle things like that, where like the people that are meant to know it, it's the most satisfying.
yeah.
So
So
I have to admit, I'm having a heavy heart tonight because I told you before we started here that earlier in the week we received our first bear fan mail, and I was thrilled to pieces because I
oops.
got a beautiful custom beer drinking vessel.
Yeah, I was actually surprised you weren't using it right now.
So the reason I'm not using it is because I have had a bit of a journey at work this week, and I was ready to hightail it. I was thinking about beers. I was thinking about shooting the shit with my buddy, and I forgot it in my desk at work. So it is absolutely going to appear next week. But just know, particularly the listener that was kind enough to supply our first fan mail, it's very appreciated, and it will make its appearance next week.
That is so freaking cool.
Yeah, it was thrilling.
I was green with envy. It was awesome. No, it was cool because it was like fast how something
Yeah,
popped up like that. Yeah, it was totally unexpected.
it was very unexpected, just absolutely delightful. And also, I kind of think it's going to hold more than a pint. Like it's tall. Like it's for sure it's like a good 4 inches taller than this.
Is it like the? It looks like this. It probably hold a little more than a pint. But if it's the same size as like the one that I drink out of, that's not this mug.
It is. You do have one like it. I bet
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like it's like 18 ounces, 18, 20 ounces. It almost holds two 12-ounce cans.
Okay. 12 plus 12, 18.
Yep.
That's- this is the first thing that like a year down the road, that's definitely a short we could make. Just bare math. It's 12 plus 12. Fucking 6. It's fine.
Exactly. It's the same. You
It
can't. You
all
can't.
adds up.
You can't convince me otherwise. Like you never will. Nobody will.
I wouldn't try to. I
Somebody
wouldn't
would.
dream of it.
Somebody would try. It's not going to happen though.
So I think we also need to engage in some congratulations because we have been on a mission to keep these episodes short, snappy, to the point. And as you'll notice, we've gone from an 2 hour, we're all the way down to an hour and a half. Like we're just a normal movie now. That's
That's actually
fine.
it's not bad. I think if we can get it down to an hour, amazing. If we can stay, you know, in the no longer than the last one. I think it's a win.
The issue is, as we go along, I find myself wanting them to be longer, but that's not good for anyone other than us. So we can't do that.
We'll see. We'll see. Before you know it, it's gonna be like full on Joe Rogan length podcast, but it's no guests. It's just us.
3 hours all the time. Just 4 hours of me bitching that I haven't had power in a week.
That's true. You know, it'd be a feat to be able to do a 3 hour, 4 hour episode while you have no power.
Just running on generators. Just buy an expensive generator just to do it.
I think this is gonna be perfect. It's a beautiful investment.
Yep.
Smart investment, if you ask me.
We
But
actually do have a generator.
oh shit, there you go.
I know. Just got to hook it up.
Having power is not worth the hassle of having to hook up the generator.
Look, I'm not an electrician, man. Like, it doesn't have the wire. Like, it needs wiring. It's not like I just have to plug this thing in. It needs a smart person that knows Ohm's law and shit to pop down in my basement and drill holes through concrete. That's not me.
That's actually very fair then. I take back my snarky remark. But with that, with the snark, that toffee just hit me right when I was talking. I think we should we're gonna keep this trucking because it's been over 15 minutes.
God
Now,
damn it.
you see, we did it again.
There goes my
again.
congratulations.
Now, last week we brought in the beautiful wonders of 4chan here,
Yeah, we sure did.
and it was amazing. Brought me back. I felt like the little Ute inside me was just giggling with glee as we were reading this, and I think we should do it again. I think we should kind of make it a regular thing for the season.
I'm unopposed for winter bears.
I think actually interesting because it's winter for you, right?
It is still winter here, yeah. I mean, we just had an ice storm.
That's very true, and it's spring for me.
So are we? Maybe we should currently be groundhog bears.
Groundhog bears.
It's still winter for me, spring already for you, and then we'll just get like Puxatawny Phil on as a guest until it's spring for both of us.
We can call him easily. That sounds perfect.
Yeah, he's on speed dial. Does Texas have their own hog? Do you guys have a groundhog that you trust, or is it Phil for you too?
No, I believe no. Let me see. What's the?
It
has a name.
In Maryland, there was one called General Lee, who I believe was from Virginia, and I think they preferred him.
I mean,
as Puxatawny Phil was a godless heathen from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was about to say. Let's see.
Okay, you ready for something? As you're looking that up, terrible.
Tell me.
The seal has never seen Groundhog Day.
Oh, damn. Interesting.
And this is another one where I'm like, it's going to be exactly like My Cousin Vinny. She's going to watch it and she's going to like it. But it's just a matter of getting someone to watch a movie from the 90s. Like, it's these Utes. They just don't know.
See, here's the thing, man. Like, I'm pretty sure the tiger has not seen Groundhog Day, but I can't rig myself to try to watch it, to get her to watch it. Because after like the devastation of My Cousin Vinny, I don't think I can live through that. My heart can't stand that. Like, look, My Cousin Vinny is a fucking masterpiece.
No arguments here.
From start to finish, from the jokes, from everything about it, from the casting, everything about it's a fucking masterpiece.
You know what I didn't remember about it? Because we recently rewatched this. I didn't remember the vibe being so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just the feel of it is just fun, start to finish. It's just fucking fun.
Because it's way more like gaggy than I remembered it being. Like I remembered it being way more serious.
Same.
Yeah, and so it's because because I will always remember. I remember there was like a a murder like trial movie that like relied on the car driving away in the shape of his taillights was the whole thing. I made
You
my
like
cousin,
conflate the two?
yeah, all the time. Or like
Mm.
it just with like the whole posi track thing and the tire marks with like I always kind of just put them together, right? Like so I remember that movie being very much more serious, like still funny, but it's more serious. So I'm watching
Yeah.
it and it's just like top tier, like of the era, like '90s era comedy movies. Like it's so good.
It's similar with me because when I watch that, I'm thinking my cousin Vinny Testaverde, Baltimore Ravens, The Blind Side. So basically, Sandra Bullock is in that movie, and she's raising a 6'7" black man.
I
And
mean,
I'm just like, where is he? Where is he? When's he coming out?
I mean, to be fair, there's not much difference between Vinny and a 6'7" black guy. I mean, like,
Joe Pesci has that energy.
yeah, that's funny. Oh, make you laugh, huh? Am I a clown?
You and your clown shoes. You and your gosh diddly darn clown shoes.
So one thing I actually didn't know, and I don't know how like real this is. I mean, it has to be kind of real. I mean, yeah, I guess it'd be in Bee Cave, so it's outside of Austin. Uh, Texas does not have a groundhog. Instead, it uses an armadillo named Bee Cave Bob, which is around the Austin area. This
And what
tradition
does he
is a
look for? His
twist.
shadow?
Let me look up Bee Cave Bob.
I'd love to know about Bee Cave Bob.
Let's do a quick look. Bee
Now
Cave
hold on.
Bob from Bee Cave, Texas.
Speaking of armadillos, don't you have a friend that made like a guitar out of an armadillo or something?
Oh, so I do have a friend. He collects a bunch of guitars and he collects like a lot of like folk instruments and weird instruments, right? So this, I believe, I don't know if it's like Czech or it's some type of, I think it's like Eastern European like old instrument, right? Like so like an Eastern
Czechoslovakia every
yeah.
episode.
Czech came up again recently, and I was like, that I forgot. But anyway, but yeah. So they so it's just think of like a type of like not a banjo, but like a Eastern European mandolin, and the body of it was literally a fucking armadillo, like a real
Amazing.
life taxidermy armadillo. Like it's the most weirdest fucking sounding thing because it's super creepy sounding because like skin doesn't really like hold good timbre.
Shocking.
So like it's like I'm not gonna lie, I really want to borrow it for recording. But yeah. So going back to Armadillo, BK Bob has helped Texas predict the early arrival of spring or the prolongment of winter since 2010. Bob is a part of a Groundhog Day secessionist movement from founder T. Booth, rechristening it Armadillo Day and stating, "We don't need no mangy groundhog in Pennsylvania predicting the weather from us." In addition to weather forecasts, Bob also predicts the upcoming year's partisan lean. Damn.
Wow. Good job,
See,
Bob.
and this right here, he's a snazzy fellow right here.
I like him. I like everything about Bob from what I hear.
Bob's a good guy. You can't go wrong with Bob. Now, before we got sidetracked again,
On the rails. Keep it on the rails.
we are going to continue the green texts because
Absolutely.
they're awesome. And so we're going to do the Spirit of Two, a funny one that either like we found or kind of there was memory holding to us, and then a not so funny one, either just messed up, cringe, or I'm gonna say spooky because mine's more spooky because the one.
Mine's a little spooky tonight.
All right, so there we go. We're Bears After Dark. We're doing this.
Bears After Dark. Oh my god. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, I just want to get like a version of the intro where it's like just like two bears, two bears, two bears, two bears.
Bounce, go well.
Yes, precisely. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I think I went first last time. You take this one.
All right, so I'm going to start with the jolly one. And this I can actually relate to quite well. So hear me out. B9, not allowed TV or internet, not allowed to play with friends. Only have Game Boy SP and Pokemon Leaf Green. Started out with Charmander. Name her Ember. Challenge myself not only to use Ember in battle, grind a ton of killing wild Nidorans and Pidgeys to level up, evolve Ember into Charmeleon before first gym, beat first gym, beat second gym, keep winning more and more and more. Eventually have Charizard. Ember kicks everyone's butts easy. Keep grinding for weeks until Ember is level 99. Finally go through Victory Road with HM slaves, put the HM slaves away, face Elite Four with Ember only. Hardest fight she's ever done. Close to losing a few times. Push through. Win. Ember best girl. Thanks, Ember. I miss you so much. You were my only childhood friend.
You know, the funny thing is though that on one run as a kid, I did evolve my starter before Brock.
Same. So did I. And it was also Charmeleon.
Yeah, I did Charmeleon, and then I did Ivysaur on accident because I didn't know Ivysaur evolved earlier.
Gotcha. Yeah, so like as a kid, the other thing I didn't understand was like I didn't really understand type advantage, even though the game like tells you like if you read. But like I was just like, ooh, monsters, and I had like a Nintendo Power guidebook, and it had stickers as you caught them. So you pulled off the sticker and you stuck them.
Was it for the yellow version? That complete
No,
guide?
This was red and blue. Like this is like I had
Yeah.
the originals. I'm old, man.
Yeah, well, the yellow version was released right after red and blue. It was the third one.
It was eons later. Might as well have been a whole set of moons later.
Yeah, because it was right after because I had got both versions for my birthday. I got red and blue for my birthday, and I was like, "What the hell? The best thing in the world!" And then I got poisoned in Invigorating Forest, and my Game Boy Pocket was like glitching, and I was like, I thought I broke my game. But yeah, I also caught like a level 2 Pikachu in there. It was awesome.
So probably the best and simultaneously most upsetting thing about Yellow was like obviously in the original too, like you had to do like the physical link cable between Game Boys, right, to trade. And like as a kid, the only thing I really cared about were the starters. Like I picked Charmander the first time, but like I really wanted Blastoise because I was jealous of my friends that had that.
Big man Blastoise.
Big man Blastoise. And then in Yellow, like if you play along the game, you get to catch all the starters. Like you start with Pikachu, but then you'll encounter all of them.
Yep.
And so it was like objectively just of that gen, far and away the best. Like you get to catch everything. It was just I don't know.
It was for like fun. Game Boy Colors. It was like the first one that had like tinges of color into it. It just wasn't all yellow or all red shade or blue shade.
Yeah. So anyway, whoever wrote that, I relate. I also did the same thing, and I also really like. I had forgotten the term HM slave, but I saw that and I was like, oh, that takes me back.
Yeah, Bibarel is the ultimate HM slave.
Cut. Strength.
Surf.
Waterfall? Did he know surf? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he learns. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
all right, what you got over there?
Mine right here. This one right here this is a great one. This is going all the way back to 2014. Be 10-year-old me. Have an obsession with eagles. Bookshelf filled with eagle shit. Go to zoo. Be a regular. Sit there like a tard staring at eagles. Handler knows me. No. Asked if I want to get up close. Get a bald eagle to land on her hand. Majestic as fuck. This one has an infection on its wing. We hear police sirens. Fucking SWAT team comes out, slams into me. Eagle pathetically attempts to fly away. Gets up in the air. They fucking take it out with the sniper.
Oh, shit.
Sobbing at this point. Ask them why they did it. It was a sick eagle. So? That's prohibited by the law. Why? Because they are illegal.
No. Oh man. I didn't see that. I should have seen it coming and I didn't see it. Oh, dude. Speaking of SWAT team.
Oh, perfect segue.
Yeah, I kind of thought you did that on purpose, but now it seems like it was a happy accident.
1000% happy accident.
Okay. First beer, by the way, down. I'm going C. Like it's fine. It's fine. That's what it is. It's fine.
C as well.
Okay. I think I want to, if it's acceptable to you, I'm going to go grab my second one right quick, and then I will regale you with the tale of Swatterinos.
Do it.
All right, I'll be right back.
So while he goes, runs, and gets a beer because he's unprepared, which is not cool. Because being prepared is very cool. What's all the opening card stuff? Like and subscribe and all that good things. I was telling them to like and subscribe, and I also besmirched you for not being prepared because being prepared is cool.
Okay. That's what I say to that. It's what the people want.
You did say the first vote was in.
And you know who cast that first vote? The same lovely person that provided the first fan mail.
Whoa. You're gonna get beat. You're gonna get beat.
Gonna get beaten. All right. Beer number 2 that I'm gonna crack before I start telling this tale is orange juice sour.
Ooh.
This is from Main Squeeze at Double Trouble. We squeezed everything we can into this juicy fruiter orange juice sour. A little bit stronger than the first one. Still a weak ass little boy, 5.7, but I'm excited for it. And I was thinking just start them all off with the fruit flavors. Okay.
That's nice. So before you go mine,
yes, please.
Again, mandatory Sit Sprite. This one here, I am actually very, very excited for. I thought this Sit Sprite fit well because this art reminds me specifically of a very, very awesome dragon.
Oh.
It's a pink dragon, a pink version of him, but it reminds me of this dragon very much so. And when I show him, you're going to know exactly why the Sit Sprite matches. This is from the amazing, absolutely awesome Celestial Beer Works, one of my all-time favorites. Brewed right here in Dallas, Texas. This is Arrow of Time. It's a triple hazy IPA with Strata. I don't know how to say this fucking word. Motieka? I don't know. Motieka? Don't know it.
Sure.
Strata, Motieka, and Nelson Sauvin hops. It's a triple of hops that I like Strata a lot. The other ones kind of impartial. I'm kind of indifferent about, but I am very excited about this one. Triple hazies are amazing, and look at this art. Who does that dragon look like?
Oh, that. Oh my God, was it? Sierra has it on her jacket. You're gonna shame me. Haku?
That is.
Is that its name? There we go. Good God.
It does look like Haku from Spirited Away.
Oh my God, I almost had to fall on the sword for not knowing that. That would have been deeply embarrassing. Okay. So, yeah, with that pure kismet and you bringing up SWAT, let me tell you. Earlier this week, we got a little rap-a-tap-tap at the door around 9 p.m. Lo and behold, it is the Ontario Provincial Police. They're here to say, hey, shelter in place. Go down into your basement. And we're like, well, our basement's not like the most comfy place in the world. How about not? And they're like, all right, fine, stay low. Cut out the lights. We're like, all right, this is a weird night. Okay, we'll do that. Mind you, this is a few days after having power outages from the ice storm and just a series of other nonsense in the week. So it's just not a welcome time to have anything weird going on. So we watch TV and we're waiting for, the reason that we've been told to shelter in place. Like, what's going on? Why is this being... That is a beautiful looking brew.
It smells extremely danky, like
Oh,
almost to the point of like smelling like celery. Like it's wild.
interesting. All right. Oh, that's weird. All right.
I mean it in a good way, but yeah, it's like very
Surprising,
danky.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Before I
So-
really interrupted.
No, you're fine. So a couple hours go by after the police knocky. And in the course of that few hours, we have noticed that in front of our house, we've gone from 3 cruisers to 3 cruisers directly in front of our house, 4 or 5 more at the corner, like over by where the horses are, turning around traffic, like full roadblock. So no one's allowed to come towards our house anymore. Look down the street the other way. Next intersection blocked off. They're turning around everyone that way. So they've fully blocked off the street in both directions. We're, at that point, 15 cops deep, probably. We're like, all right, this is weird. So we go to bed, watch TikToks like we normally do, and kind of doze off. Then, like 11:58, 11:59, I hear what I think is like a snowplow. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, it's been icy, but like not warrant a snowplow icy, And then I see these really bright lights going up my neighbor's driveway, and it is like the full-on like SWAT mobiles, like not like SUVs, but like the tank-looking SWAT mobile things, and they're just like scraping the driveway going up. So they go up, and they turn on their like bright headlights and those like high beam things on their roofs, and they just light the place up like it's an action movie. So my neighbor's house is now just aggressively being lit up. And then they get on the loudspeaker and they're like, I'm not going to say the name because I'm not sure. They say the guy's name and they're like, this is the Ontario Provincial Police. We need you to come to the front door, hands up. We wish to end this peacefully, blah, blah, blah. And so they repeat this message like on loop every minute. And every time before they start it, by the way, they're chirping their sirens. So like our dogs are going nuts because they haven't been able to go outside. Can hear the horses freaking out. And they're doing this consistently, like clockwork, every minute on the minute for like 10, 15 minutes. And then finally they're like, all right, that's enough of repeating the message. This guy clearly is not coming out with his hands up, cooperating, loving them. And then they switch to like a 5-minute interval, but still same thing. They're chirping the sirens. The message is going off very loud. Like this is not a quiet process. So our whole little stretch of neighborhood is fully invested in what's going on at this point.
When did the drones come out?
Hmm?
When did the drones come out?
Oh, that's about to happen. Because what they did was at this point, they cut all their lights. So this whole thing's been lit up bright as day. Now we're like pitch ass black. Can't see a thing. I'm kind of like lurking up in my window watching this all like a hawk. Now, they cut the lights. Lights come back on. And now you've got a little Wall-E type robot just scooting along in the driveway real slow. Just going up to the front door. And then off of this Wall-E robot launches a drone.
Oh,
and
shit.
it starts like circling the house. So we're circling the house. And I'm like, okay, cool. Something's going to happen now, right? Like they're not going to keep everyone up all night. Something's going to happen. No, lights cut again. I'm like, all right, Jesus. I would really like to go to bed. Lights come back on. Now, 2 drones circling the house in opposite directions. Also, at this point, I have now seen the SWAT guys pop out of the back of the SWAT mobile. They are in full-on tactical armor, night vision goggles, crazy helmets, all these shenanigans. Lights cut again. Like, this is getting absurd. Like, what is with the light play? Come back on. One of the SWAT guys is now walking around the house with a Belgian Malinois. So I'm like, okay, this is like what is causing all of this? Why are we so worried about this? And I remember texting you, and I'm like, what are we thinking? Bomb threat? Murder? Did he eat children? What happened? Who knows? At the time, anyway. And so now, finally, after all this bullshit, they think, all right, it's time to breach. So all the SWAT guys go up with their little door battering ram thing. Go in. There's like 5-6 of them. 2-3 minutes later, they walk out. He looks sketchier than usual. A little skinnier, a little shakier, but not like anything crazy. There's clearly no violence, and they just perp walk him to the van. But then out the door comes like 20 of these SWAT guys. So clearly they had fully surrounded the house during all those like periods of darkness, and they'd like breached every door simultaneously because they all just bounce out. And now that he is secured, they also then cut the lights one more time. And while that's dark, they kind of like walk out with what looked like stretchers. So I'm thinking like, oh no, this is like a violent crime. Turns out it has now been released that he just had ghost guns and a bunch of ammo. So
was
it's
it
clearly just like...
So was it ghost guns as in like manufactured 3D printing guns, or was it just like unserialized guns?
Filed off serial numbers.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so that was just like... this does not happen in our area. So it was definitely quite the experience. Quite the experience indeed.
Yeah. What's kind of crazy to me is like, he got arrested for something that's just like very normal over here in Texas. You know what I mean?
So presumably, the reason for their start was he was in crisis. So I think there's probably some sort of like domestic shenanigans where he was either a danger to himself or them or both.
Which kind of which sounds like it, to be honest.
And it just happens to be that, like, you know, the charge that's going to stick here is the guns.
That's actually gonna be wild. That like, if they didn't even go there for those, and it was just like a wellness check kind of thing, and then it's like, damn, to get caught for a wellness check.
Yeah. But I kind of think, based on the level of law enforcement you had there, I think there's got to be stuff they're not printing in the papers. Like, why would you send 2 full like tactical SWAT teams and that many police if you didn't suspect something a bit more?
So I mean, that, or the area doesn't see a lot of action, so the station, the squad's like, fuck yeah, let's go, let's roll. What can we? You know what I mean? Like, when else are we gonna have a reason to use this?
If it was something where it was like we had some sort of county police or something like that, I would be fully in agreement. But this is the equivalent of like
the state
a marshal.
Troopers? Okay,
yeah, a state trooper or a marshal.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so it's like, it's not like, I mean, within an hour we have what would be like, if you're counting the U.S. and Canada, is like it's the 3rd biggest city. Like, it's New York, L.A., Toronto. Toronto's
that's fair, actually.
8 million people. Like, it's a lot of people. So there's plenty for them to do.
I mean, at the end of the day, you ever watch that one documentary, Reno 911?
Yes. my birth city. Yes, I've seen that. And I can confirm that is all 100% fact.
It's true. So I don't know.
Particularly the lad on the roller skates. he's there in the wild.
That's honestly the first thing I thought. Like, there was that one scene where he's like, I'm dead. Where he's like crying on the floor, sitting down, saying that he's dead. It's like, you're not dead. We're talking to you right now.
It's one of those things where, in hindsight, I don't know who my favorite character in that show was, because I love Dangle.
Dangle's top dude. New Boot Goofin? Like, come on.
New Boot Goofin? What do you do? New Boot Goofin? New Boot Goofin.
What's funny is, like, I wasn't a huge fan of Dangle when I watched it when I was younger. Like, I liked...
Because you were a homophobe.
Exactly. Or... but, like... It was more like he was the... You know, like the campy kind of like I'm like, whatever. I guess what what made me actually like him was when the same actor played the accidental like gay date in I Love You, Man. Like,
sure,
when he played that, and he's like, I thought we had something special, but now I know it was a taste of betrayal. Right? He's like, you fucking whore. Right? Like, after that movie, it made me like Lieutenant Dangle because he's just so funny.
That's absolutely fair.
And then it made all the stuff that I wasn't a fan of when I was younger, like, funny. But like to me, my favorite scenes were like all three female cops, like for all different
Mm-hmm.
reasons. But like anytime they pulled somebody over, like it's just fucking hilarious. And then was it Terry, right? Like the Nick Schwartzen's character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like best character there.
Yeah. He's really good. They have a lot of cameos in that show too that I didn't realize like who they were at the time. But there's a lot of gems. But yeah, you're right. All the female cops are great. Like Niecy Nash's character is like just so good.
It's so good.
Especially when it's like her being like, when they blur her face out and it's the lady with like the crazy like
Yeah.
floppy titty balls like roaming around. Like my god, outstanding.
That's such a good show. Do you remember the movie
Yes.
where they try to like unbeach the whale?
Yeah. Again, it's a documentary. Like this is what Reno transports would do if put at the beach.
So good. So good. Oh man.
Should we hit him with the next green text?
Got to go with the next one. Right, we're
Okay.
keeping this going.
Okay. So you went last, right? We back to me?
Yeah, so it's you.
Back to me. Okay. So this one here, it's a little bit spoopy. So if you're easily scared, just mute it for the next 5 minutes. All right. Also, this was fun because normally when I find these, we're reflecting on yesteryear, but this is actually from today. So early April 2025, year of our Lord. Be me, 27, land surveyor in bumfuck nowhere. Check abandoned properties for development. Boss sends me to some farmhouse. No roads, just miles of dead fields, overgrown trees. Abandoned in the 70s, no reason given. Great.jpg. Park truck, walk rest of the way. House looks wrong. Not falling apart, not vandalized, just off. Windows too clean, like someone wipes them. Front door shut, no locks, no handle, just a wood slab nailed across it. Snap a few pics, drone up for aerial shots. Drone feed glitches. Battery drains from 80% to 5% instantly. What the fuck.exe? Need interior shots too. Go around, find a broken window, crawl through, land in the kitchen. Everything's still there. Plates on tables, chairs pushed in, food long rotted. House is silent. Not no one's here silent. Waiting silent. Flash goes off. Lights up hallway. Something moves at the end of it. Fuck. Stand still. Listen. Nothing. Just my breathing. Shine flashlight down the hall. Old family photos still hanging. Faces scratched out, not with knife, but fingernails. Bits of nail embedded in the frames. Proceed to shit bricks. Instant leave. Push open nearest door. Bedroom floor covered in yellow newspapers. Headlines are nonsense. He knows you're here. Do not look at the window. Your teeth will be gone. Brain short circuits. Panic setting in. Window creaks behind me. Nope. Not turning away. Bolt down hallway. Something soft crunches under my boot. Look down, newspaper with today's date. Headline, he sees you. Brick shitting intensifies. Hear breathing behind me. Jump out window like kid escaping the Diddy party. Reach truck. Fuck this job. Fuck this house. Never report my findings. Call in sick. 2 days later, ask manager about the house. He acts like it never existed. I don't think I have long to live, bros.
Damn. It's actually
What a journey.
It's actually terrifying.
It's very creepy. Very creepy indeed. Reminded me of like a Resident Evil kind of intro. The thing with stuff like that is anytime like technology glitches, that is really disconcerting. Because like I don't know if you remember earlier in the year before they did the temporary TikTok ban, but like TikTok for like my feed anyway was getting filled with like all the UAP nonsense in Jersey.
Yeah.
And like I had a few people that I actually like personally know in Jersey that were trying to like go and see them with drones. and everyone was saying that like you'd get kind of close and the drone would just die, like just instant.
Yeah.
And so it's like that's weird. I wonder
Yeah.
what that is.
Wasn't it just like military tech? I think like they found the stuff that like they opened it or like they like greenlit it like the year prior.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, that's what it is.
I don't know, man. They
Non-human biologics, Grizz. Non-human biologics.
So here's the thing. I tend to be like, yeah, it's military tech. They're just testing us, like like was it Operation Sea Spray when they were spraying the bay in California with like chemicals to see like how the things would happen, something like that. But then again, in the uncovered CIA documents that recently just were like released, right? They do say in there that aliens attacked Russian soldiers and turned them into stone or some crazy shit.
Yeah.
That's actually reported in the CIA docs. So either somebody was smoking meth, a little methy, or aliens. You pick.
Hey, but between that and the nonsense under the pyramids, and
All the pillars and all that shit.
the thing is, I have to constantly check myself with things like this because I want so badly for it to be real. So it's very hard for me to like keep a objective mind frame because I'm like, it's way more fun if there's.
That's true.
But
that's very true. But the pyramid thing, I'm like, so just start digging. Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I wish they would.
Okay, so here's
what you got.
so here's mine. It's I will say this encompasses perfect spooky 4chan.
Oh boy,
It's gonna cover all the bases. Some people are not gonna like it. Some people are gonna love it. Some people are gonna be like, "What the fuck?" So,
is this gonna be another you trying to pitch Yeezy's clothing line?
no, but at least it's so no matter how bad this gets, just remember at least it's not Boku no Pico. Okay. Okay. So, anonymous. This is posted in 2021. Be me. Have sleep paralysis every now and then. Pretty rare. Wake up, can't move. Paralyzed below neck. Scared for some reason. See some black humanoid shape, silhouette, in the room corner. Nothing outstandingly bad, but don't want to deal with it anymore. Start jerking off aggressively every time before bed, staring into that corner to assert dominance and show how I don't fear. One night, I'll wake up. Can't move. Heart racing. Skinless woman. Looking thing with dozens of eyes on her face sitting on me, straddling. Has hands with claws like Freddy Krueger knife fingers, but on both hands. Nearly shits myself. It whispers. Sleep naked, you coward. I'll bork you so hard you'll never be able to get off to another human being again. I'll be waiting, worm. Shut my eyes. Praying for the Lord to deliver me from this evil. Surrounding my bed with salt the next day. No longer try to assert any sort of dominance. Get sleep paralysis now more often. Same shit with silhouette in the dark room corner. Week ago, silhouette moved to foot of my bed. Looks like its hands behind the salt line, but I'm still getting nervous. How fucked am I? It's all in my head. Just fucked imagination, right? Would going to a psychiatrist help? Now, two-parter, because on November 4th, 2021, this pops up.
Oh no.
Bee sleep paralysis demon. Haunting this cute guy. Afraid to make a move. He starts jacking it every night, looking at me, asking for it. .jpeg. Figure figure out he's into me too. Makes my move. Tell him to sleep nude because I can't take his clothes off. Promise sex so good other females will feel like will feel like sticking Peter in a cup of lukewarm water. Suddenly he's not into it anymore. What the fuck, dude? PNG. Suddenly doesn't want anything. No more night shows. This cute guy jerking it can't even sit on his bed anymore. Thirst. JPEG.
Oh no! What a journey! What an absolute journey! Sleep paralysis is wild. Have you
Yeah,
ever
no.
had it?
One time. Just one time. And I remember it vividly as fuck.
Go on.
Ooh, okay, all right. Be me. Little Grizz. This, I don't know. This was like probably 2021, 2022. I had just delivered the cub to state school, and I was like, you know what? By myself, I'm still a little tired. I'm gonna take a little nap. So prop up, lay down, in the living room, or yeah, lay down, go to sleep. So my duplex at the time, on high on one of the walls, there was a small rectangular window that was just sealed. You can't open it, you can't close it, right? And it's high up there. Like I'm 6 feet tall, and this thing sits like 6 inches above me.
Mm.
So I fall asleep. I fall asleep on the floor, which I do like sleeping on the floor. So I fall asleep on the floor, and I'm like in kind of fetal position, facing the wall that way where that window's at. And I remember waking up, and I remember looking around, and like the room's slightly darker. Like there's still sunlight coming in the windows, but all my windows have like heavy curtains on it except for that one. So the light's coming in, and it has like this orange hue to it. And I'm hearing this like robotic sound, and I'm pretty sure it was like the trash pickup happening.
Mm.
But I hear these crazy robotic sounds coming in from the other side. And like the orange hue that's coming through that window just slowly getting darker and darker and more vibrant red. And it's like a smoky red thing just coming through that window. And the way I can describe it is probably like for millennials, the Dementors, and then for like people that are based like the ghouls, the ghouls from the old Scooby Doo cartoon. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was kind of like those figures, like those shapes, like were like crawling. Mind you, I couldn't move my body, so like I'm looking towards the wall, and I can kind of see it in my peripheral view. I can kind of see the window, but I can't see it perfectly because I can't move. And so I'm seeing these like shadowy robed shapes like grab the inside of the window and pull themselves in. And there's like
Mm.
multiple of them just keep doing it. And like I'm like trying to like move. And in my head I'm like, all right, this is not real. I'm just freaking out, like fucking move. And so I'm like trying to move and I can't. And I'm like actually really trying, and like I can feel my heart rate getting higher and higher because I'm like trying to, and I'm starting to panicking because I can't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like so I see the multiple things come in, and I feel them like kind of I can see the bottoms of like they're floating past me and around me in the room, and I can see like the bottom of their like shadowy shape of like their robes kind of just right over me, and they're kind of, and I can see that they're surrounding me, and I can feel them like watching me, and I can feel their presence around me. And I'm trying and I'm trying to get around. I don't feel like I'm fully surrounded. And during that time, I I finally like gasp for air and like freaking like come out of it, and then like I see the red hue just like go to normal, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I sit up, and I'm like,
Oh
and my heart's
man,
still racing, and everything's still like freaking out, and I'm like, what the fuck was that?
that's wild.
And that's the only time it's ever happened to me, and I was like, I don't, I guess like 4 or 5 years ago. 'Cause
Damn.
I never had it as a kid, or like, that was the
Hmm.
first time. It's the only time it's ever happened to me.
That's enough, though.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good. Hmm. Well then. Yeah, that's a not a good experience at all.
That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had one?
So I think I've mentioned it to you, but from like the time I was maybe 14, 15 through like my early 20s, like I had bad insomnia. So yeah, I would have it regularly. I didn't have the hallucinations so much.
Mm.
I would wake up and I would be stuck and I'd be like, this is so annoying. I'd be like, I want to get up because sometimes I'd have to take a piss or something. I'd be like, oh no, this is gonna be dicey. I'd just be stuck there.
That's interesting.
But in terms of like having the what do you call them, like the specters, like every now and again I would see like kind of like you described it, just kind of like dark, shadowy figures.
Mm-hmm.
But they would never like approach. They were always just at the foot of my bed, just like looking.
Mm-hmm.
I never felt any sort of like dread or danger. It was just like we're here and we're just like gonna fucking lurk and annoy you.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, it is creepy still, though.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I wonder if, like, a lot of, like, what do you call it? The abduction stuff where they usually have, like, the aliens, like, around their bed and just looking at them. I wonder if there's just, like, variations of sleep paralysis.
Or it's just a bunch of like people from 4chan just like jerking off,
Yeah, they're just jorking it. Like, it's
just jorking it, just peeners out. It probably is though. It probably is some version of the sleepies.
I'm pretty sure it's just Larry.
Larry. God,
Evil
fucking
Larry.
Larry. Gosh darn evil Larry. Well then.
Yeah, it's a, that's one. It's very spooky. Are you almost done with your second beer?
Oh yeah, I can easily. You say the word and we can finish these bad boys off. Is it time?
I think it's time.
All right, let's get rid of them. Now, I've never been able to chug like successfully the way you just did. I have to like take little pauses and just relax a little bit.
A lot of degenerate parties when I was younger.
Because if I have too much too fast, it's like I think I'm gonna drown. Like I'm actually gonna die. I'm just gonna drown. There's just like a finite amount of liquid I can have in a short span. Even water. Like it's not just beer. Like I couldn't chug a water either.
I don't know why this made me think of something, but like, I remember when I first started drinking a gallon of water a day. Right, that's kind of like the thing I was doing. To get me to be able to drink a gallon of water every day, because I was like, I don't want to drink fucking water, that much water. So I was like, you know what? I fucking love tea. So I just don't sweeten tea. It'd be fucking great. And I was like, how much tea do you put in a gallon of water? How much tea bags go in it? I don't know. So I bought a gallon of water and I bought a box of like green tea.
Mm-hmm.
And I just grabbed like 8 of those motherfuckers and just put them straight into it and closed it and just shook it and just let it. And so throughout the day, I was just drinking that. I had no idea tea was a diuretic. So like, I'm talking about and I did it for like a few days straight. And I'm talking, I have never like pissed so much and felt so like loopy, right? And then I was talking to a friend on Instagram, and she was like, "You know, green tea is a diuretic, right?" I was like, "What the fuck's a diuretic?" For one, And then so I Google. I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm a fucking moron." Like,
God,
I was
I
just
can't
drinking a
believe
gallon of this shit.
the inside of your peener was smooth as eggs. You're just washing that bad boy out.
I don't think it's ever been that clean.
Good God.
Wow, it just reminded me of that. I haven't thought of that in ever.
How old were you? Oh no.
Not young. Like I would say 21, 22.
God bless you, sir. I'm glad that diuretic was a new word at 22.
It was. I never heard of that shit in my life.
Live and learn. Don't know till you don't know.
Yeah.
Well. So, Bears After Dark.
We're getting zesty in here.
Getting many a frolic. You know what? Beer number 2. We were just talking last week about how I never have 2 duds in a row. And neither of these were duds, but like it's another C.
They're dancing that line. Ooh.
Yeah. Like I'm whelmed.
Whelmed. Okay, all right.
I'm simply whelmed.
Damn. For me, this A minus.
Celestial, thank you.
A minus. Factor in art. A. Art fucking phenomenal. Love it. I'm fucking huge fan of Ghibli stuff. Haku's awesome. Spirited Away is my second favorite Ghibli movie. Great. And if anybody from Celestial tells me it's not Haku, I'm fighting y'all. It's Haku. I don't give a fuck what y'all say.
How do you feel about the whole AI Ghibli thing?
I kind of think it's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Look, man, if people are trolling shit and doing stuff they're not supposed to, I'm all about it.
I'm gonna pretend to be upset with you for a while.
Now, the wild thing though is like on Twitter, or like I'm gonna call it Twix, on Twix, like people were like Ghibli AIing like porn scenes.
What? Really interesting.
Yeah, and it would be like close-ups where you'd be like a face of like a girl biting a pillow or some shit, or it would be like towards the actual whole scene, but it's like something of exactly what it is,
Okay.
and it's just like Ghiblified, and it's like this is so fucking wrong. Like,
oh no.
like just internally, I'm like, oh man, this kind of hurts. Like,
oh damn.
Like it was funny is because they were also doing like
not just with
old.
Go ahead.
No, go. No, okay. I was gonna say it's and because they I also saw like old like famous war photos and stuff being Ghiblified, and I'm like, funny, haha, whatever. Like, poor taste but still funny. Troll like it, right? But Graveyard of the Fireflies is the thing, right? So like,
yeah,
kind of whatever, a little bit, just more of like poor taste but like funny. These I'm just like, this just feels so viscerally wrong for like for that to be Ghiblified. So I was like, damn. So those felt like the worst to me, and I was like, but it was funny in the sense of like, I can't believe people are doing this, but like, it's the internet.
So I feel like right now my gut instinct is like AI art is, I'm not a fan. I don't like it. But part of me wonders how much of this is going to be, give it 5-10 years, where like, is this just going to be viewed like how digital art was at first? Like, you don't know how to paint. You don't know how to actually paint. Like, if you give someone like, it's a really accomplished digital artist like a paintbrush, like, can they do acrylic work? Probably not.
Yeah.
Some of them could, but a lot of them don't.
Most
know how.
can't. Yeah, I do feel it's going to be that way. Like, because I do kind of feel like, I do feel like it's going to be that, right? Because one of the kind of, I guess, more in my bag is like music, right? Like, and so I do know that there's a thing of like, even when like EDM started getting really big and also that kind of stuff, like it was looked down so hard on by like musicians and people that like, spent years learning how to play an instrument, all this other stuff. And then you got this dude being here like, I'm gonna fucking chop some shit up and then just be on stage with a laptop. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, what the fuck, So, and I felt that way too until like I had befriended an actual like good DJ, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh shit, okay, well, like for me, writing a dope fucking melody or like a good riff was like for them was like what sound they can create from something like getting like getting that sound and distorting it to this fucking crazy ass bass drop. Like
Mm-hmm.
the sound that they can create from that's theirs is their version of a dope fucking riff, a good riff.
Mm.
And so like being able to contextualize it and seeing them work and like okay, this is like I get that because that's exactly what bag I'm in when I'm like writing, you know. So
Yeah.
that made it way more palatable. But I remember that being very much of a thing. And then now EDM's like way is absolutely huge, way more than it was a couple of decades
Sure.
ago.
Yeah.
So like I do feel like AI even going into the music space is one of those things where it's like people are going to really fucking hate it, even more so than the EDM stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's going to ultimately morph into how much AI things can you blend into like your own music and how far can you push it.
Mm.
And so like it basically using it as an extension, like basically like I don't know, like a fighter in a mech suit kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I guess I've had the privilege of knowing like several like immensely talented artists.
mhm.
And so I understand from that perspective where you have this thing where someone's just like fucking bear eating berries in the woods and like it can shit out that picture in 5,000 different styles and it takes it a millisecond. Whereas for a person to create that scene, it takes hours,
Yep.
maybe days, depending on how detailed they want it to be. So I get the frustration when you have a thing that is being created with zero effort.
Yeah. Because so here's the thing too, real quick. So like that's also one of the biggest things. So like effort and everything is like a huge thing. But as much as I agree with that, also like effort for the sake of effort doesn't mean shit, right?
Well,
Like
so that's kind of where I was going with this, right? Because I was thinking, like, if you're extending this down the road when it's commonplace enough where it's viewed not as because I feel right now like a lot of people have a genuine fear of it.
yeah,
But if we go far enough down the road where it's just a tool, then I feel like it's me in the winter here. Like you've seen pictures. I have a very long driveway. So when I
yeah,
shovel it, it's a several hour project. Could I buy a snowblower, a tool, and make it much quicker? Yes. But I like to do it with a shovel. I don't know why. I've always preferred that. So not only do I wonder, like, is there like there's clearly nothing inherently evil about a snowblower. It's just someone making, like you said, like effort for the sake. Like I'm putting out effort because I want to. I also wonder if that's going to create a space where people creating art, music, whatever, by traditional means almost get enhanced because of the rarity of their talent. Like if you know how like sometimes you'll see like I don't know like heirloom vegetables and they go for like way more than
oh yeah.
like a major farm shout out vegetable like just because it's like a smaller independent thing.
I mean, just
Like I wonder.
heirloom tomatoes in general, motherfuckers like 3 times more expensive. But like, if I'm making a really nice dish, I'm buying a couple of them because they're fucking delicious.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
So like I wonder if there's almost a place where because of AI, like actual artists, like their work receives more prestige than it does now because you're like, holy shit, you still took the time to learn that? Like you don't
yeah,
have to do that.
yeah. I think that's definitely going to be a thing because like it's one of those where going back. I keep falling into music stuff because that's been like my main thing. It surprised me how far AI music's actually come.
Absolutely.
Like I was absolutely surprised because I'm like, 'cause I was fucking around with an AI generator with music, and like I'm like create a song that's like this and like this and like this, and like I'm getting melodies, breakdowns, and like solos over stuff, and I'm like, damn, like this is something that like, and this happened in minutes when like this is like a whole day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day jam session with people. You know what I mean? Like so, like it was
Mm-hmm.
definitely like eye opening in the sense of how far it's actually come.
Yeah.
But I do think so. I'm in two minds. I think the effort for just because something has effort in it doesn't make it more valuable. Like just like inherently to me, like just because there's labor involved doesn't necessarily mean it's valuable. Like how much labor in it isn't predicated on how valuable it is. Because again, like I can have somebody pay somebody to move a pile of rocks and do from one side of my yard to a specific spot, or from like my driveway to a specific spot in my yard, and then do the thing so like we can get ready for something, and I'm paying them to do it. But if they move it to the opposite side of my yard, twice as far away than the place I need it, and they worked really hard doing it, did the same amount of work, it doesn't necessarily mean like they still did it wrong. And so like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't mean like so effort in itself isn't intrinsically what makes something valuable in my opinion. So like, but at the same time, like your significant other does something for you that's like nice, where like or even just like making dinner. Like you could have ordered dinner and we could order something we both like and it's fucking dope. But if they go
Mm-hmm.
and make something fast, or like even if it's just something as simple as like instant noodles, but they like doctored it up towards like a little more like cool, like you're gonna like that way fucking more because like they just did a little bit of effort, and it's like, oh wow, you did this for like us. Like damn,
Yeah.
you're fucking awesome. It makes you feel special. So like that's kind of one of those things where I feel like human, like non AI art and thinkers are gonna go to, is because you're
Yeah.
gonna be like, well, somebody created this and they put that effort into it, so it makes this inherently more special.
Yeah. And it's, I guess what that ultimately boils down, like, I agree with you pretty much across the board on that, is it kind of boils down to it's complicated. Like
Mm.
it's a very nuanced thing. And it's going to be, I think, quite situational.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like with an extension of the whole, like, is effort like the end all be all? Like how many people have we known over the years, and how many times have we talked about like someone in the gym? You're like, fuck, I was in the gym 3 hours today. Okay, great. Why were you in the gym 3 hours? Like, could you have shortened that to 45 minutes and had a more successful workout? Like, were you just fucking dicking around talking to people for 2.5 hours of it, and then like the half hour you were there just doing half squats? Like, just because you were there 3 hours doesn't mean you did something right. Like, you could
Yeah.
have dialed that way back and been more accomplished. So, um,
Yeah. It's definitely, I guess, somewhat of a gray area. It's definitely interesting. Like I do think as we integrate more, there's gonna be way more pushback. But ultimately, I do think it's going to be just be used as, it's gonna go to like from how much of a virtuoso are you to how well can you compose and utilize this thing that everybody can wield.
yeah. Well, the other thing I was thinking about, because I was trying to put myself in a position where like I was angry at AI, and I was like, all right, what if I like put a lot of effort into, and like recently it's been like learning Japanese, right? Like, at least an hour every day for almost a year now. And I was just thinking, like, we are also at the point where technology, like, if I was willing to commit to buying like certain like glasses or tech or headphones, like, it's just going to translate it for me. It would be fine. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
how much do I value having that knowledge in my head versus a machine being able to do it for me, like
Yeah,
in real time?
yeah, yeah. That's the hardest thing because it's like, because practicality wise, like just being practical, being logical, like it makes sense. Like, why am I gonna? That's what 365 hours in fucking
Yeah,
of my time, or like $300,
yeah,
and like
yeah,
I'm straight. Like so like it definitely makes sense. But and this may be like the like humanistic conservatism in the sense of like trying to keep things pure, like just humanistically. So it's like cherishing something that like cherishing knowledge that you can have like within yourself. But
Mm-hmm.
I do think there is something to be said about learning the language, because like languages are different in the sense where they kind of like it's culture, right? Like it opens up all this different avenues, and like through it you'll learn like why things have significance in different cultures and different regions of like the speak the language that you wouldn't go just by seeing a translation.
100%. And I've had this conversation at length with Kwame, if you're listening. I miss you, buddy. Um, Language and food. Like those are the two things where like no matter how far anything else comes, those are so intertwined with culture. And in essence, because of that, so intertwined with just like people's interconnectedness that like I'm personally like I would never want to give that up, even if there is an easier route. Like I would want to know it intrinsically, or not intrinsically. I would want to know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking beers. Gosh darn it. Do we get a third, or are we
I
trying to be good bears and dial it back?
I think that's a perfect reason segue to get the third.
I support this. All right. Do you want to scold me again while I grab my third?
All right, I'm gonna go. Okay,
You can bully me and say I'm a bad little boy with bad genes.
that sounds like a kink, but so I will not be saying that Ice Bear's a bad little boy with bad genes. Actually, those are fantastic genes. I don't know what he's talking about. But what I will say, being prepared is cool. You know, carry a first aid kit in your car. It's cool. Carry wet wipes in your purse or your bag, because you never know when you're going to go to a smokehouse and have barbecue, and they're not going to have towels for you. So being prepared is
Whatever you
cool.
said, I agree.
It's true.
What did you say? What did I agree with?
So I was talking about how being prepared is really cool. All right. I was like, you got to be prepared.
Preparedness is neat.
Because, like, you know, it's like carry a first aid kit in your car. You never know when you're going to need it. It's great. I have one in my car. Also, and I was like, carry a thing of wet wipes in your bag or your purse, because you never know when you're going to go to a smokehouse or a barbecue place, and they're not going to have wipes for you to wipe your hands. It comes in handy. I speak from personal experience.
That's good advice. That is damn good advice.
Tiger did it. Our first like date was at a smokehouse in Pasadena. They had no rolls, no paper towel roll, or they didn't give us any wet wipes. I was appalled because me, I ordered the big ass short ribs. Like, you
Of
know,
course you did.
yeah,
What else were you gonna order?
it's powerful. It's powerful. I ain't gonna trust a brisket from California, right? Especially when Texas. So like, but short ribs are that's God's candy. Now, I was going to say something like slightly more offensive, but I decided to censor myself.
I like God's candy. That's a good line.
Yeah. So like, so I got that. They had no napkins. They had no this and that. So how was I supposed to grab my old fashioned that was brilliantly made in a glass with these meaty ass greasy fingers? Luckily, the tiger was prepared, and she carries a bag of wet wipes in her purse. I was saved. Being prepared is cool.
Being prepared is cool. I like it. So you have your daily drinker for your third, is that right?
That is correct.
I'm pleased to announce I have a new daily drinker. I don't know if I told you.
How new?
Well, I tried it for the first time during our first episode,
No.
and I like it so much, and it's readily available. And these things are on average like $2.40 a can, so that's $1.95 freedom units. Alien Mastermind is back.
Beautiful.
It's a 10.3. Like it's so good.
My thing is like when I hear like your craft beer prices over there, like it always like hurts me a little bit because so me, I have a couple of regular craft beer spots I go to, but like in Freedom Dollars, and I'm going by singles. If I buy singles from anything, the cheapest single I could find is like $5, $6. They go upwards to like 9 to 10 per can for like a 16 ounce if I'm buying singles, which is usually what I do for 2B2B.
Yeah.
But like I get these bad boys, and after everything's said and done, for me, it's a 12 pack for like $17. So we're talking about less, right about $1 a beer.
Yeah.
So this is worth it for me. My daily drinker has been my daily drinker for like I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years now. Before this one, their other version was my daily drinker for a few years. I used to have the Voodoo Ranger, the Imperial IPA.
I remember it well.
It was a 9%, super better. That was my daily drinker. No matter what like craft beers I had on hand, I would always have like a 6-pack to a 12-pack on hand too. And then when they came out with like the whole Fruit Force, the Juice Force stuff, Juice Force became my daily drinker because it's a heavy. It's just like a super orangey, tangerine, hazy imperial. That's a 9.5, and again, you can get a 12-pack for like sub $20.
Yeah, it's a good value. So I would say on average here, your average single is probably between 3 and 4 Canadian average.
Wild.
It is very easy to get. Like they have like typically they have like 1 or 2 end caps that are like clearance. And luckily in my area, I don't know if this is just I lucked into living in an area like this or if it's just pricing, but it tends to be the stronger ones are here. So like things above 7.5 typically wind up in clearance, and so they are normally between 195 and 3. I think the most you're ever going to pay for an average one is 5. You will see the occasional like 24 ouncer or like the like not like a what's the thing that's almost a growler? Like it's do you know what I'm saying?
The
It
bottle,
has the pop
yeah,
top.
yeah.
Whatever that is. Like
Which
you'll see those for like 13 sometimes.
Which actually, so 13 Canadian ones, it's what, like 9 US?
Right now I think it's like 10.
10, okay, yeah. So you remember that Le Monde one you got?
Yes.
So I found the size below the growler of that one.
Interesting.
When I got this one, and I almost got it, but it was like $16, and I was like, I ain't gonna buy this shit for $16.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. So here's my question for you for this inaugural Bears After Dark frolicking, having their naughty boy third beer. We've been pretty good about kind of organizing ourselves. Did you have a topic in mind, or did you want to do first crack at mascots of a different sport?
Oh, so I did not have a topic in mind because I knew we were going to talk about like just general, because we the SWAT stuff. I knew we were going to talk about that. I knew we were going to have that, so I didn't want to like think about a topic. I am cool with the crack of it though. But before we get into that, one of the things I am excited for, well, I just want to throw it out there because of all sports ball and stuff. Rangers won yesterday, 1-0. It was great. Not too bad. It was very windy though, so like that kind of helped. And the point they made was very early in the game. and it just progressively got windier and windier. But the game before that, they lost like fucking 14 to like 2 or some shit. So it was I was devastated when it happened.
So speaking of our beloved Boorball, my Jays are at the top of the AL East. I don't know if you saw that. They're 5-2. They're having a pretty good start.
Yeah.
Now
Jays
that
get a
being
pass.
now that being said, the sport I was thinking of for our dear Canadian listeners, who make up roughly 1/10 thanks to me, I think they might appreciate some hockey if you had any interest in doing a hockey division.
So funny enough, I was literally thinking about this today. Um, NHL hockey is the one thing that I have not got into because again, growing up in San Antonio, there's nothing of
Right.
it. I think we have like they have like the Scorpions now or some like weird shit. I don't know what the fuck. But when I moved to Dallas, we have the Dallas as the Stars, and so I see it much more often now. And like as a fan whose favorite sport is American football, I see and I watch hockey stuff. I'm like, a lot of the things that I like about American football is there. So I'm like, I need to deep dive into this more. And then like I have the thing of like moving into Dallas where there is that we have our own NHL team. I'm like there's no reason for me not to be in this sport. Like
There really isn't.
so it's
Here's my elevator pitch to Americans that are thinking about getting into hockey. It is as fast paced as anything out there. It is basketball with less fouls. It is soccer with a smaller rink. Like, so it is very fast paced. It has the electricity of a sport that's goal based. So like one goal can like instantly it changes the whole game. And so like it makes every moment very cathartic, like the same way baseball is in like bottom of the ninth of a 0-0 game and someone gets holy shit, someone got to run. Like it's electric. And so like you're kind of hanging on the game the entire time. It is boxing on skates because you're gonna have fights fairly regularly. If you commit to watching your team for a season, you're gonna see 20 quality fights. Like they've kind of like weaned it down over the years, but you're still gonna see fights for sure. And I would say, in my experience, more than any other sport, it is, in my estimation, the last true team sport. Your most inflated ego superstar is still so comparatively down to earth compared to any other sport. And also, you can have the best player on the planet and your team's not necessarily even going to be good. You have to have a fully stacked team. And it's like, whereas in other sports, like your second string and third string might never play because of the way hockey takes shifts, your whole team's playing and your whole team matters. Guy A to guy Z has to be good. Like you have to be locked in as a team. So it's awesome, man. It's really fun to watch. I could not recommend it more to anyone that likes sports in general.
yeah, because it's that's one. Because again, like because the Stars is not a bad team. Like even somebody that's not into hockey, like seeing that pop up and everything, I'm like, okay, like they obviously do well, especially like the prior year and everything. So I'm like,
Dude, they're at 104 points this year. They're doing great.
yeah. So it's like I have the capability of going to see them too. You know what I mean? And it's like, and it is cheaper comparatively. Like I go to a Rangers game, you're spending a few $100 easy.
Yeah.
Dallas game twice that. Mavericks game twice that. But like Stars game, it's not going to be cheap, but it's significantly more cost effective than everything else.
So that's the funny thing because it's basically the exact opposite here. So I was talking to my when we were at the movie filming thing over the weekend. I was talking to a fellow Habs fan, and so here hockey is basically what football is in the U.S.
Just funny
So
because it's just funny because you're wearing a hockey stick and I'm wearing a football.
yeah. So if you were to watch like a Habs game in Montreal, like good seats are 500. Nosebleeds are probably still 100. But I remember distinctly as a kid, especially before Ovechkin, if you wanted to go see the Caps, like in DC, first 10 rows, you're still probably fucking $30, $25.
Damn.
Like hockey's dirt cheap, right?
Yeah.
But the inverse of that is also true. Because like if you want to see like I don't know, like we don't like our only other pro sports team would be the Jays, like outside of hockey. But
Mhm.
like and the Raptors tickets are actually insanely expensive. But like Jays, you can go on like a if you want to just go on like beer night on a Tuesday, $15, $20, and you can get fun seats.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine going to like the Globe Life here to see the Rangers for fucking anything sub. You probably can get nosebleeds for like 50 to 100, like $50 if you're lucky. Typically, we are close to 100.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and check. I'm fact checking myself. Watch their tickets be like $7,000.
Yeah, let's see.
All right. All right. Flex tickets. Blah blah blah.
We're doing this. Let me look. Go to StubHub. Let's see.
I'm on Ticketmaster. Thank you for the sponsorship, Ticketmaster, this week. We appreciate you.
Are
Yep.
you watching the show for free?
Starting at $20.
Yeah. So
Anything in the upper deck is $20.
yeah. So I would say like with the if you're like at the absolute nosebleeds, like complete top where you can't see shit and you can barely see the screen, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can get into the game for $17 to $23. That being said, parking's going to cost more than that. So we have that. You get down to the one right below that. It goes all the way. It goes up to 60 to 70. You go to the one right below that. You get freaking, not that much. You get it depends. Like if you want to sit like behind the batter, like that's the thing where you can't really see much of it of the game at all. Like you can get close to the bottom for like $30-$50. But if you want to go like, or actually no, if that's half field. If you want to go where you're like behind the batter, like right field, left field, like, or I'll say right field because you're behind the Rangers. You're talking about 250, 150. You're talking about that kind of things.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
But like you can see a Rangers game like ticket wise. You can see a Rangers game ticket wise for sub 50, right, and get good decent seats. But then again, you get the ticket for $50. We'll say you get the ticket for $30. Parking's same price, right? And that's like not far away. And then beer $10. You want food? $20.
All right. I got to ask a question because I don't know. I can't remember. Dallas, is there a metro? Like, do you have a train? You have a subway?
So yes, for Dallas, it's called the Dart. It doesn't really go. Oh, I don't know. Like with the new stadium, I don't know if it goes by there, but because the Texas Rangers, the Globe Life Stadium is not in Dallas, Texas. It's in Arlington, which is a southern suburb of Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So like that type of transport, like the Dart stuff, I don't know if it actually goes that far. Thing said, you can go to a parking lot that's like, you'll walk a few blocks. But like you can get a parking spot for like $30, $20-$30. But you're gonna walk a few blocks. But which is totally worth it because you park at the stadium, you're paying way past your ticket price.
Jeez, that's crazy.
And then the Cowboys games are worse. Cowboys games are awesome. The Cowboys Stadium, fucking amazing. The new stadium, fucking great. Now, granted, the glare and stuff. Yeah, okay, cool. But the stadium itself, you go to the stadium, awesome. And the cowboy Ritas, their margaritas in cowboy glasses. There's the ice is like it's Italian ice.
Ooh,
Fucking phenomenal. I'm
that sounds
telling you,
pretty good.
it's pretty dope.
Mm-mm. Well, I don't know. So, circling back, what do you think? Do you want to introduce some mascot for NHL?
How much? Okay, how much teams are in a division?
8.
Oh shit! Oh damn. So how much? So how, there's two divisions, and
There's 4.
oh
4
okay,
total.
four total. Let's do to try to keep this under 20 minutes. Let's do two divisions.
All right. How about let's do the division the Habs are in, and we'll do the division the Stars are in.
I'm down.
And then I think we should promise those that were engaged with the anime debate. Let's finish the anime debate next week.
I'm down with that. Let's do that. We'll do the.
Okay. So let's start.
Are you keeping tabs, or am I? Should I keep tabs?
No, I'll keep tabs of this. I'll remember.
All right.
Okay. So same rules as last time. This is a battle taking place on the ice. So remember, these are a team composed of your mascots. So we are dealing with 6-on-6, spaced as they would be in a normal hockey ice rink. Okay. So we're going to start with your boys' division. And actually, I'm just going to go right down the current rankings. But because I want the Stars to be last I want you to think about it and stew about it for a bit. We're going to start at the bottom with the lowly Chicago Blackhawks against the Nashville Predators.
So, what's the Predator mascot?
Yeah. So I was going to say, if you need help, say the word. It's okay. There's no shame in not knowing these if you're not a hockey fan. So the Predators mascot is a saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah,
And it's pretty dope looking. I think it's for me. This doesn't seem like much of a I'm sure a Blackhawk is a very fearsome warrior, but it's still a person, and a saber-toothed tiger is going to probably wreck him.
Oh, it's a person. I thought it was a fucking bird. I thought it was a hawk.
Okay. So the Washington, what are they now? Commanders, former Can you picture the old mascot?
Yeah, so it's a Black Hawk Redskin.
Yeah, it's the exact same logo. Just for some reason they got away with it longer.
Okay.
But regardless, I think the Predators wreck that.
Yeah, 1000%. Yeah, Sabretooth wins out. I watched Ice Age. Sabretooth wins.
I mean, also again, we have the added caveat of this is now on ice. So you've got to think about balance
on ice and enclosed. Yeah, okay, yeah. Six Predators are winning.
All right, so the Preds are moving on. This next one, this is also fun. So we have the Utah Hockey Club, the newest team in hockey. So this is an expansion franchise. They have yet to. I think if we revisited this down the road, because they're supposed to select a mascot, like an official mascot, like this season. And they were letting the people of Utah kind of vote on it. One of the top contenders is a Yeti, by the way. So that would be dope. But right now they're hockey club. So it's just a bunch of guys that play hockey. So, athletic lads. But unfortunately for them, their draw today is the Minnesota Wild. And the Wild mascot is a fucking bear. It's a big-ass grizzly. So I think this is yet another case where I'm sorry, humans. You're not going to do too well against bears on the ice.
It's true. 6 bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this has been 2 easy wins. Now, this is going to be the hardest one, I think, because this is we're going to have to really flex our artistic muscle thinking about this. We now have the St. Louis Blues, which is music blues.
Okay.
Against the Colorado Avalanche. So we have music versus a force of nature.
So I hear blues and I think of Mashed Potato Johnson from Metalocalypse. And had to teach the band Death Clock how to play the blues, and he was amazing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't think 6 mashed potato Johnsons can survive one avalanche, much less 6.
See, the other thing about like the avalanche is how do you determine when something like an avalanche has lost? Like, is
Ooh.
it
A survivor after one's finished?
so? Like, are we saying like the avalanche has murdered or drown out the sound of music before the snow melts?
Okay, if we're going that way, like we're going esoteric, avalanches win 1,000%. You ain't getting some nice tasty ass guitar licks, like pentatonic guitar licks, or like fucking some nice brass to go over a sheet of fucking snow if you're covered. But if we want to say where somebody survives an avalanche, and this blues musician, if 6 of them live 6 avalanches, like
But
okay,
again, we're on an ice rink. So what are the odds a human lives an avalanche when they only have half an ice rink to escape on? I think the avalanche win.
yeah, I don't see. And then even at that, if we want to go like not a force of nature, right? If we just want to go like a Chevy avalanche, 6 Chevy avalanches are killing six blues players easy.
But again, if we're going Chevy avalanches, no one driving it. So they're just
Oh
parked.
shit!
And then the blues players are just going to slowly serenade them to death.
But that does mean that they're gonna outlive the blues musicians, though, right? If they're just not moving.
Okay, now to be fair, the avalanche logo is clearly like the snow avalanche.
All right, fine.
So I think they have to move on. All right. So the final one in
so
your
here's
Go
this like survival rates in avalanche incidents vary significantly based on the duration of burial. According to studies, the chances of survival decrease rapidly with time. For instance, if an avalanche victim is rescued within 15 minutes, the survival rate is approximately 92%. However, this rate drops to about 37% after 35 minutes of burial. For burials lasting over an hour, the survival probability is much lower, which only a slight decrease observed between 60 minutes and 1,400 minutes, ranging from 23 to less than 6.
Okay,
How
so I
long is a
think
hockey game?
so it's 3 20-minute periods, but from actual time, we're probably looking at 2.5 hours.
Yeah, they're dead.
They're dead. So avalanche, move on.
Yep.
Okay, so that brings us to your boys, the Dallas Stars against the Winnipeg Jets. Which honestly, this is brutal because I don't think either. Okay, all right. So we have an inanimate object again in the Jets because it's literally like same as the football Jets, just like a plane, like a fighter jet, albeit with a better logo because it's a cool leaf, but still just a jet. And then we have the Dallas Stars, which are literally stars because they. I don't know if you're aware, they used to be the Minnesota North Stars before they moved to Dallas, so it's slightly.
So we're talking about just a giant fireball from
It's
space.
the stars. It's just the stars, right? Because if you put that inside of a hockey rink, obviously the Jets are immediately like vaporized. Oh shit! I think based on this logic, the Stars are going to have a pretty easy time in this one.
Yeah. To have 6 stars.
Yeah, you have six stars in a hockey rink somehow. Oh shit! Yeah, Dallas is moving on for sure. Oh boy, yeah, this is going to be fun for the. I can't see. All right, this will be a fun mental gymnastics project for the next time we revisit this. But yeah, the Stars are for sure moving on.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so that brings us to my lads in their division. All right, so we're also going to go in reverse order for standings. So first we have the Boston Bruins against the Buffalo Sabres. So we have a bear again against the Sabres, which are like so their mascot's a little confusing because it's a buffalo, but it's also like sabers, like wata, Perrier, touche, like sabers, like swords. So I'm gonna pretend it's like buffaloes that somehow have swords against bears.
So buffaloes can't hold swords; they got hooves. So already they're at a disadvantage. Now, can a buffalo kill a bear?
Probably not.
I think bears win.
I think bears win. Oh, that hurts to say the Bruins win. Ugh, gross. Yeah, but they do. Let's be honest. Bruins moving on.
So
All right.
okay, put this in American football terms. What are the Bruins?
Okay, so all right. The reason I hate the Bruins so much, they're like the Habs' arch nemesis.
Oh, they're the Ravens.
Yeah, they're the Ravens to the Bengals. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, they're more like the Steelers to the Bengals. They're more the Browns to the Bengals.
Oh.
But here's the thing about hockey history. Hockey has a thing called the original six. There's a couple of teams that have been around since the beginning. So, like the Habs are a 1909 team. So this is a franchise well over 100 years old. Boston Bruins are also an original six team. So from the onset of the NHL, they have been competing against each other. The Habs by far have the most Stanley Cups. They won 24. So like no one else is even close. But over the years, some of their best matchups, especially in the playoffs, 70s, 80s, even now moving forward, are against the Bruins. So like these teams hate each other.
So it's like Dallas Redskins.
Yes,
Cowboys Redskins.
For you, that's the equivalency.
Okay.
Yes, 100%.
Easy. Okay.
But and much like Dallas and the Redskins, like they're both accomplished teams. Like these are both teams that have cups, right? So they're winning franchises, and like anytime you ever see like hockey things like rank greatest rivalries, it's like that is the number one in hockey, bar none. Like they hate each other. You could have one of them having a terrible season, like a dog shit season, and the other one like leading the league, and it's still going to be a damn good game because they hate each other that much.
Yeah. I remember this so much times, like, again, because I told you, my dad, diehard Cowboys fan. Cowboys are losing, I'm not coming home. Straight up, because my dad's going to be kind of drunk and pissed off. I ain't going to go home.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
My uncle, his closest brother, where they're like two peas in a pod, thick as thieves kind of thing, diehard Redskins fan. So it was a couple of the things from like Redskins were like 0-9, 0-8 and shit, but yet they're still like neck and neck with the Cowboys. Even when the Cowboys were like going to the playoffs kind of thing. So it was always one of those things. So it was always fun to get or it would be like the end of the season, it would be like 1 in whatever, right? So it would be like 1-10 close to the end of the season, be like 1-9. And the only game the Redskins won was against the Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems right, though. Just one of those things. Some teams just play better against other teams. All right.
That's how I felt like every time the Cowboys, even when they were doing good, when they went up against the Giants, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, it's just like Giants are built as like Cowboy killers.
Like, objectively, not like genuinely, even if I'm putting my own biases aside, our two teams are in the most competitive divisions in football.
Mm-hmm.
Like NFC East and AFC North, like those like teams hate each other like way more than any other divisions.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of any other things where like every year like the cellar dweller is going to put up a good fight against whoever's leading the division. But nature of the beast. So our next one is my boys, my Habbies, my Montreal Canadiens against the Detroit Red Wings. So we have Settlers of Quebec against the thing about the Red Wings logo is I've never really understood it. Like it's a tire with a wing. Hold on. Let's investigate this a bit.
Is it like Red Wing boots?
I'm gonna look up the mascot
Wait,
because
where's?
I know they also throw octopi.
Huh?
Yeah, so one of the things with Detroit is like in the middle of game, like, or maybe it's squid. No, I think it's octopus. Hold on, bear with me. Octopus. Legend of the Octopus. Hold on, brief side story for those that don't know. Legend of the Octopus is a sports tradition during Detroit Red Wings games that involved throwing dead octopi onto the ice rink. The origin dates back to the 1952 playoffs, where the team played a 2 best-of-7 series to capture the Stanley Cup. So you needed 8 wins to win the cup back then. So they threw octopi because of the 8 legs. All right, but what we need to know is their mascot, because I don't know. It's Al the Octopus. So we have octopi against people from Quebec.
So it's octopi.
It's octopi.
So what's the wing thing? Wait, so where is this team
Detroit.
from?
Detroit.
Oh, so Michigan. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind then. Because the Red Wing Boots is Minnesota, so never mind.
Yeah.
So
So
octopus versus
just a person.
a person on ice. Yeah, the person's win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
like
think
if we in water, maybe.
it's a really boring game, but the Habs are moving on. All right, so
They're gonna have a good dinner.
Speaking of good dinners, we now have the Ottawa Senators. So again, just people against the Florida Panthers. So I don't know about you, but this seems pretty clear. The Panthers are going to move on,
Especially with doughy senators. Like,
so like I think the implication is this is like Roman senators, so like slightly more like kind of like guys from 300, but still against Panthers.
yeah, but to be
on
fair,
ice.
like they're Europe, and Europe didn't have any actual animal predators,
True.
right? Like they had no fucking bears, they had no
Yeah.
crazy ass mountain cats, they had no like none of that shit.
Yeah.
They like
No, it's very true.
they would lose to a pack of dogs.
All right, and now here's where I'm going to get myself canceled from my beloved fan base.
Oh,
We have the Toronto Maple Leafs against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
okay.
So,
Anybody that has just Google a lightning striking a tree, and tell me who wins. Now, when you think of that, you think how the tree did a good fight. Think of the millions of leaves. How much leaves got burnt in that one strike?
so this is kind of like we're in another San Diego Chargers scenario, right? Because it's a lightning bolt. But to be fair, just so that we're crossing all our T's and dotting all our I's, the Maple Leafs mascot is a polar bear.
Ooh.
But
Okay.
still, like against lightning.
So it's a polar bear. Here's the thing. Can a polar bear survive a lightning strike?
I don't think so.
I don't know, man, because haven't humans survived lightning strikes?
But 6 of them against 6 of them.
So we just need one bear to survive.
But the other thing is that was our logic last time, wasn't it?
Yep. And I stand by that logic. We have a layer of insulation. We got blubber.
All right, let's look it up. Polar bear lightning strike survival odds. This is good research we're doing. We're doing God's work.
Yep. Look, about 90% of lightning strike victims in humans survive.
That's what I'm seeing. Yeah. Shit.
Polar bears look, if a doughy ass fucking little bitch human can survive lightning strike 9 out of 10 times, then polar bears, all them polar bears are living.
Yeah. All right. Maple Leafs move on.
Look at that.
Maple Leafs.
Look at that. You didn't get canceled by your own people and your own people.
Oh man. I'm still just having a really hard time seeing how I'm kind of like preemptively looking at the 2 divisions that we skipped. And I don't know how anyone beats your boys. How do you beat a star?
It's not happening.
Now, the other thing is, I have been making the error of kind of just not using the actual mascot sometimes. Because, like, I don't think there's a person dressed as a star.
Actually, it's fair. What is the star mascot?
I'm looking. It's a green alien. Oh, I love him. His name is Victor E. Green, and he looks kind of like Alf. But we already did what we did. No take backsies. This is what happens when it's Bears After Dark, 3 beers deep.
That's true.
Stars are moving on, whether they're aliens or not. Don't be a bigot.
Oh wow, he's interesting looking. That's definitely not what I expected.
Right.
His motherfucker looks like Alf.
All right. Well, you know what? Look at that time. Look where we wanted to stay and look where we wound up.
You know what? The inaugural Bears After Dark deserves to be 2 hours. It is what it is.
It's going to happen. It's not our fault. It's 3 beers. It's after dark.
The fact that we did 3 beers in 2 hours, it's not bad.
It's pretty impressive.
Our last 2 hour one we did with 2 beers. So technically we're fucking on the money with this one.
We really are.
We're talking about what, 40 minutes per beer? Not bad. Not bad at all.
Can't complain. And I imagine your Old Faithful remains an A.
Yeah, it will always be a B plus A minus. Like, not a bad beer. Delicious beer. It's not the best beer I've ever drank in the world, but it's one of the. It's bless you.
Thank you. Sorry.
It hits all the boxes. It's nice. It's cheap. And this is It's a 9.5. Bless you.
Lion's roar. My bad.
That was powerful.
Yeah. Well, what a good way to wrap it up.
I think that's good. I think. Actually, yours. What was your new daily drinker?
It stays an A. It's great.
Stays in A. Bless you.
And I'm allergic to it.
And I think with that, cue in the music.
2 bears, 2 bears.
Beautiful.
2 bears, 2 bears.
Well. Funny bumping into you here. You just listened to episode 4 of 2B2B. And let me tell you, if you watch that on YouTube or Rumble, make sure to like and subscribe. Share it with your other denizens. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. Hope you love us as much as we love you.